The 2020 election is still 15 months away, but the race for Congress is already getting ugly and personal.
Tonight, we reveal audio evidence of a campaign volunteer posing as a reporter to sabotage a rival's news conference call. Congressman Rodney Davis's campaign manager tried to deny he was involved, but when we confronted the volunteer himself, he gave us a full confession. Capitol Bureau Chief Mark Maxwell traced the call back to someone volunteering for the Davis campaign. Mark, what is the campaign saying about this?
Jennifer, good evening. I called Rodney Davis's campaign manager, Matt Butcher, yesterday, presented him with all the evidence, told him I had a full confession. We knew who made the call. We knew who sent him to do it. Still, Matt Butcher tried to deny that he had any knowledge of what happened last Wednesday. That's when the Davis campaign's rival, Betsy Dirksen Londrigan, was holding a press call together with a campaign finance reform group called End Citizens United. That was supposed to be with reporters only, or so they thought. That was until someone chimed in and started asking very specific, very pointed questions. Let's listen in here, first to how the Davis volunteer introduces himself, and then a second snippet later in the call, how he goes after Dirksen Londrigan's husband.
Yes, hello. This is Jim Sherman from the LSL Student newspaper at SIUE.
And I get elected to Congress, that I am going there to answer to the people and not the corporate PAC.
Yeah, but what's to stop a corporate lobbyist, a corporate PAC like your husband, a corporate lobbyist for McGuire Woods, from just funneling money to the deep CCC, which you then benefit from?
Look, I am running for Congress, not my husband. It's 2019, and I think it's time for women to be judged on our own and not by our husbands' careers. But thank you for asking.
The content of that call all over whether a candidate for Congress can be bought or paid for. I called the editor of that student paper at SIUE. They told me, quote, "We have not had anyone by the name of Jim Sherman work here." The student admissions office also said, "We do not have anyone by the name of Jim Sherman associated with SIUE." I contacted the group who hosted that phone call and got the call log and tracked that number back to someone I've worked with in the past. I had his number in my phone, Nick Klitzing. Turns out he's the former campaign manager for former Governor Bruce Rauner and former executive director of the Illinois Republican Party. He knew he was caught red-handed. He gave us a stone-cold confession, Klitzing admitting to me, quote, "I was willing to help. I'm just a volunteer," from his place in Chicago. End Citizens United president Tiffany Muller, who was also on that call, was outraged at this stunt. She said, quote, "Impersonating a college student in order to lob false partisan attacks is dirty politics and shows how low Rodney Davis's campaign is willing to sink." Also, quote, "Rodney Davis should condemn these attacks and stop the dirty politics." Jennifer, to be honest, I'm not even sure if Congressman Davis is aware his campaign is doing this. We've had no luck after 24 hours getting any statement or any response of any kind, any explanation to how they did this, why they did this, to ambush that call.
Well, Mark, I'm sure you are going to continue to try to get a comment from Rodney Davis about all of this. Let us know when you do.